From here, we're going to open up our knees and bring it into child's pose. So just stretch it out here, bring your forehead to the floor. Take the first few moments of class and just become focused through the breath as we do our Ujjayi breathing. Remember, that's as we inhale deeply through the nose, hollow our throat, breathe deeply into our chest, down deeply into our lungs. So we fill ourselves completely, and then we exhale back through the throat, through the nose. As I always say, keep the breath fluid and consistent, never changing. It becomes our timekeeper, our metronome. And all we're looking to do in these first few minutes is just to become focused on where we are right now. And slowly bring yourself up, sitting into hero pose just for a moment. Sitting up nice and straight, hands on your legs, palms up, deep in the breath. And then from here, we're going to slowly release, taking ourselves, of course, into my favorite all-time pose, downward facing dog. So flatten your palms, spread your fingers, roll the shoulder blades away from each other, deep in the breath. Remember, what we want to do here is bend our knees, push back. If your heels don't touch the floor, it's no big deal. As I always say, it just means they don't touch the floor. Your body will respond the way it needs to be, not like me. Like I'm bending my knees slightly, like I always say a lot. When I come to these classes, I come in here cold. And I do that on purpose so that, I have to warm my body up with yours. So that, it's just a real deal. Just breathe and sink into it. Bend your knees slightly. Because a lot of times people straighten their legs, they round forward. That's not what we want. Bend your knees, tailbone up, heels down, breath deep. And then from here, slowly walk your feet forward, and you're going to bend your knees, and you're just going to hang here. Let your neck hang, let your whole body relax. And inhaling the arms up and out. Into the air, hands to the chest. Now from here, come and stand in the center of the mat for Tadasana, the mountain pose. So you want to bring the hands to the chest, draw the shoulder blades down the back. When you come to mountain, I always tell people that it's more about standing with awareness than just standing. Stand with awareness and know how you're standing, because we can stand in mountain better. That'll alleviate a lot of lower back issues, hamstring issues, posture issues. It's all about standing. And I'm totally guilty of that all the time because my shoulder's round. But through the practice of yoga, I realize that and I try to correct it as much as I can. So no one's body is perfect, but we can sure try to make it better. So from here, hands into the chest. Now I want you to draw your navel in, tuck your tailbone under, and I want you to lift your toes, spread your toes, and root your toes evenly into your mat, into the earth, into the ground, wherever you are. Could be on the floor, wherever. Deep in the breath. Shoulder blades down. So from the hips down, you're rooting. From the hips up, you're lengthening. So root, lengthen. Deep in the breath. And then bring the arms up. Interlock your fingers. Palms up, deep in the breath. Same thing. Root through the legs, reach with the arms, deep in the breath. And then release. Hands coming to the chest. Hands to the hips. From here, open up your feet, hips width apart, for our standing wide leg spread pose. So from here, big inhale, lift into the heart. And as you exhale, hinge from the hips, go down. Remember, feel as though you're hinging from the hips, not the upper back. Feet firmly grounded in evenly, distributing your weight. Front of the legs drawing up, spiral spread the sits bones, deepen your breath and drop it from the hips. And bring it up. From here, right foot forward, or it could be your left foot if you're following me. I know we're opposites. So opposites attract, right? So here we go. So we're going to be doing a triangle. Remember, we're going to inhale, we're going to reach, get the length as our hips go back. Think of this as the mechanism. We hinge forward, but the hips go back. We get our length. Now, I can go down a little bit deeper, but a lot of times when people do that, they start sticking out their bottom and sticking out their chest. So if you need to come up a little bit higher to get into the pose appropriately, do so. Only go as deep. Now some people can put their hands on the floor or they can use a block. Wherever you need to go to get into the pose appropriate and correctly is okay with me. But don't go to where it's wrong. And bring it up. Hands to the hips. Big inhale, lift into the heart. And as you exhale, hinge and go down. And bring it back up. Just a moment there. Triangle on the other side. Same thing. Big inhale, lengthen, get the reach. Reach. Remember, hips go back, but you reach forward. Only go down as deep as you need to. Bring the other arm up. Gaze up, deep in the breath. Remember, none of this. Use hand on the floor, hands on the leg, hands on the block. Whatever you need to do is okay with me, but don't do the pose wrong. Work on your alignment. It's very important. And bring it up. Good. Hands to the hips. Big inhale, lift into the heart. And as you exhale, hinge and go down. And bring it up. Wiggle your feet together. Bring it back to mountain, hands to the chest. From here, come back to the front of your mat. We're going to bring the arms up, big inhale, and take it, exhale down. Just hang. Walk it back to a down dog. And drop to your knees, go to a child's pose. And slowly bring yourself up and back into hero pose. Sitting here on your heels, deepen the breath, palms up. From here, bring yourself up to a kneeling position, hands on the hips for Uttanasana, the camel pose. Now, a lot of times when people do this, I'm going to stay in the side angle so you can see. A lot of times when people do this pose, they have a tendency to lean back, okay? So you get in that straight line. That's not what we want. We want not like a check mark, but we want like the letter D, a big curve in the spine. So that means you have to keep the hips forward above the knees and get that deep curve and let the head hang like a grape on a vine. And some people can grab their heels, or you can keep your hands on the hips. But remember, don't sacrifice the pose just to grab your heels, just to say, ooh, I grabbed the heels, but I did the pose wrong. But hey, no, that's not what we want to do. Just do the pose to the best of your abilities, and in time, you'll be able to grab the heels. Because a lot of times people go back, and what do? They start leaning back. and it's not done right. So I want it done right. I can't be there to see you, but I want you to do it right and check your ego and just do it the way it should be done appropriately. So from here, hands on the hips. Big inhale, lift into the heart. And as you exhale, tuck the tailbone, roll the shoulder, drop the head. Now, hips stay forward, deepen the breath. I'm just going to keep my hands on my hips on this one. If you have the ability, you can take your hands to your heels. Let your head relax back, deepen the breath. And bring it up. And stretch out in Child's Pose. Bring yourself up back to singing to hero. Now we're going to be doing a hero Suptavirasana, which means laying it back. So that's the one where you go all the way down, but you keep your knees together, pointed down, and you're going to feel a great stretch on the top of the thigh. So one thing that you can do is you can take your, you can sit up, take your muscles and roll them out, and then sit back down so that the muscle goes to the outside so that they can lay a little bit deeper. And if this hurts too much, there's 3 options to this. And you can choose which one you want to do. Open up your heels and drop your bottom through. That's option A, and just stay here like this. That's one way. Now, option 2, or option 1B maybe, you can actually lean it back a little bit, okay? Now, if you want to go much deeper, then what you do is you come back to your arms and rest it back like this. If you have the full flexibility, then drop it all the way down. Push your knees together and point them down and grab your elbows above your head. Again, choose the stretch that you need. And then slowly come out of it, nice and slow. Oh, that's good. Oh, now from here, let's just lay it back. Stretch our legs out for just a moment. Open up your feet, turn your toes in opposite directions, cross your arms and drop your forehead down. Slowly bring it up. From here, let's just bring it into a butterfly. We're just going to crisscross our legs. I'm going to turn this way a little bit so you can see better. Just a butterfly, hands around the feet, thumbs to the middle of the feet. Peel your feet apart, deepen the breath. So you want to peel your feet apart like you're reading a book. Little toe to heel touches. Squeeze your bottom into the mat like you're trying to squeeze onto that mat with your bottom. And then lengthen the knees, drop the knees, shoulder blades down, deepen the breath. No slouching. Work on our posture. If you want, you can even take your hands behind you to help you get into a little bit better. Good. Now from here, just open it up, wide leg spread. Come up on top of the pubic bone. And from here, you want to open up your legs and you want to make sure that your knees are pointing up and your toes are pointing up so you get that stretch. So same thing comes into play here. Big inhale. And as you exhale, just lean forward. And if you can go forward, but none of this rounding stuff. Some people, they round because they're not up on top of the pelvis there. You have to have that tipping point to bring you up and over. So if you need to, just keep your hands behind you. Those people that can come into here and get up, it's like kind of lifting a bowl and tilting it forward. If you're not doing that and you're rounding and you're reaching and you're trying too hard, you're going to hurt yourself. Don't do that. Don't do that. Listen to what you can do, breathe, and hang out with it. Activate the legs, point the toes up, deepen the breath. Then slowly release, bring it up. From here, again, I'm doing this off my back. Maybe it'd be better. No, I'll turn this way so you can see me better. We're We're going to take our right foot and our left inner thigh for Janu Shirshasana, single leg stretch. And what you want to do is get your left butt cheek out of the way. You're going to rotate towards that leg. And sometimes people can use a belt and they can pull it in. So if you have a belt or a towel, you're more than welcome to do that. So I'm going to use my arms because I don't have a belt, but if you have a belt, I'll show you what you need to do. Up, inhaling, exhale, grab the foot. Again, you can use a belt or a towel or your hands. And then breathe and hinge. Breathe and hinge. You don't want to round forward. You want to lengthen from the hips up, reach out. The leg drawn in towards the body, so it's kind of a circular motion. Draw the leg in as you extend out. Breathe deeply. Make sure that your foot's not kicking in. Make sure that you're pushing through the big toe. Pull the little toe deep in the breath. And release. Let's rotate to the other side. You don't have to move and see my leg. I'm going to this way. So now from the right inner thigh. Now I'm going to tuck my left foot under my right knee for a specific reason because I've injured my left knee. I think I've talked about that in the past. So I can't torque that knee as much. But for everyone else, I want you to put the left foot into the right inner thigh so that you can get that stretch. And if you've injured your knee, then do it. You know, there are ways of alternating the poses. And I do this because I know where the problems are with my knee, and I do the pose, but I found a way of doing it without injuring myself even more. So arms up, big inhale, and exhale, go down and grab the foot. Inhale, look up, lengthen. Exhale, deepen. Now one thing that you can also do, remember, breathe, lengthen, and drop it in like this. One thing you can do is you can bend your knee, bring it to the chest, and as you inhale and exhale, you start scooting that foot out and keeping your chest on the thigh. And as you go deeper and deeper, you're in the pose the correct way. I mean, I've got people who come up here and do it, you know, and then they slowly open up. But that's a great way of doing it because you want your chest to be on the thigh as you progress. We don't want it to be this big gaping hole here. And again, I'm only going down right now, again, for two reasons. One, hamstrings tight. Two, an injured knee. And then slowly release. From here, bring it back to the center. We're going to crisscross our legs. We're going to do a nice little twisting pose. Big inhale. And exhale, look over the shoulder. Come back to the center. Let's crisscross the other way. Big inhale. And let's exhale. Now, one last thing before we bring it to the floor. You're going to take your both legs out. We're going to do a full seated forward fold. And now there's a couple of options you can do with this as well. You can put a pillow here if you want and just lay over it. You can bend your knees, or you can go all the way down. So I'm going to find out where I can go with this one. Again, just do what your body can do. Big inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, go down and grab the feet. Look up, lengthen. And as you exhale, pull it in. Now, if you want, if your hamstrings are really tight, bend your knees, bring your chest to the thigh, and then just start wiggling your heels out and bringing it down with your body. Now, some people can pancake it out, is what I call when they flatten themselves. But the great thing about this is if you're doing the pose with correct alignment, the person that's doing the pancake version and where I am, we both get the same benefits. So there's no ego. We both win the rewards, and it's a good thing. Because if I try to go somewhere where I'm not ready or you're not ready, then you injure yourself, and guess what? You lose out. We don't want that. And then slowly release. From here, we're going to lie on our back. We're going to do a bridge pose. So from here, let's lift our hips into the air, interlock our fingers, tuck our shoulder blades, deepen the breath. Feet forward. And then slowly release, bring it down vertebrae by vertebrae. Bring it into reclined butterfly. And then squeeze your legs in, big hug, rock and roll side to side. And then arms to a T, legs to the right, look to the left. And roll to the left, look to the right. Bring it back to the center, squeeze it in. And then stretch your legs out on the floor for Shavasana, the resting pose. Arms to your side, palms up, breathe deep. Just take these next few minutes to relax, surrender and let go. And just allow yourself freedom to allow the body, the breath, the connection with you and the yoga to be made. But this is, as I always say, this is the most important because it's a complete surrender of the self. So just let go, surrender. The peace and the strength, and share it. Namaste.